right, joining us now is Alamogordo Track and Field. Their season begins on Friday as they head over to Roswell for their first meet of the season, and joined by longtime head coach Jason Atkinson. Coach, how are you?
Good. How you doing? Thanks for having us.
Fantastic. How many years now? I know the boys' team was a little bit longer than the girls' team, but what year is this? Do you know now?
Well, for me, coaching the track program, this is year 21 for me.
Yeah. That's awesome. Very cool. You want to introduce the three that you brought with you today?
Yep. We have a little bit of a skeleton crew. Some of the sickness is driving through the team, and just I've had it, and I think a lot of our athletes have. So we got a couple today, but they're going to represent real well. I have Ayanna Gilbert.
Hi.
Hi.
We have Omar Enriquez.
Hello.
And we have Aubrey Allen.
Hi.
All right. Glad to have everybody here. Everybody doing good?
Yes,
sir.
Okay, that's what we like to hear. Coach, a little bit of a transition here for y'all, certainly on the girls' side. You lose Ellery and Alyssa and
Yvonne,
yes. I could see her face, but all of a sudden the name was escaping me. And, I was looking at the results from last year, and the top point getters, and they were like 3 of the top 10. So, it's definitely a transition, but, we've had a lot of athletes, obviously, that have been waiting in the wings for their opportunity to maybe step up in some big events. Is that fair to say?
I think you got it spot on. I'm not sure. I think we can go now. That's about it there.
Yeah.
But no, it's. I keep saying this. I'm going to count the COVID year because we had an incredible team on both sides. So I'm going to count this, although it's not official. But for the girls, that would have been 7 straight years of a trophy.
Yeah.
7. That's pretty unmatched. there have been some incredible teams, like the La Cueva boys won 7 in a row. I think the Cleveland boys right now are on a good streak as well. But for our school, even for this track program, 7 years in a row was really, really special. And so, there's probably going to be a point in time where there's a little bit of a reset. And so these ladies, 2 of them right here, it's a different role now for them. And I think there's going to be some adjustment periods for the girls' team. And the guys' team is, for example, on the up. Like the cycle is a little bit different when you have one high school town. And so the guys are, especially the sprint group, is really on the rise. And so, I think you got spot on with the girls' team, with the guys' team. We definitely are, I believe, on the way up. District championship game down to the 4x4 last year. And, that was Oregon Mountain got us, but it's going to come down, I think, something tight like that again. I hope not. I hope we just wipe the floor with them. But but I think you have a pretty good, you summarized it pretty good.
Omar had a smile on his face when you said that. So feels like every time we come in here, we're talking about Oregon Mountain.
Yep.
Rivalries are good. I told you last year, it really wakes us up in the morning. It wakes me up and it gets me motivated. And you need those rivalries, to be honest with you. It's good to have.
All right. We'll over to Ayanna. She's this is her first interview on the radio, so we're gonna ease her in by making her go first here. But what events are we gonna see out there this year? Do you know what you're gonna be competing in?
This year I'm hoping to compete in like triple jump and long jumps and the 200s and 4x4s and a few relays. Okay, very good. Do you have a particular event that you kind of view as your best or the one that you enjoy the most, or? The event I'm best at is like 400 events, and I really enjoy those events because it's just kind of like I'm in my own zone and I really appreciate it.
Okay, very good. What do you know? What got you into deciding to go track and field? What grade are you in this year?
This year I'm a junior.
Junior. And
I think I kind of got started when I was in middle school. I always hoped to do it, but my older brother, he was in track, and then just seeing him compete just kind of made me want to go for it more.
Okay. Harlan's your older brother?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Do you know what kind of goals you're looking for in your events? Do you know what you're shooting for in those particular events?
This year I hope to qualify in the 200, and then I want to get sub 60 in the 400.
All right, Omar Enriquez, this is his final bit of high school sports for his high school career. First, are you excited about heading into track and field?
I am. I'm so ready to just see what I can do this year. I'm really excited, yeah.
Yep. Do you know which events you're going to be competing in, same as it's always been?
Oh, yeah. The 400 and the 800, those are my babies.
Okay, very good. And I know of those two, is there one in particular that you want to have the best year in, or you want both to be as well as possible?
Oh, yeah. I definitely want both to be as well as possible. I know that I have the best chance at success in the 800, but like I said, I want them both to be spot on. I want them to be great.
All right, so competing, I'm sure wanting to win an individual district title and then hopefully compete up at state as well?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll be excited to see that. Do you have time numbers that you got in mind that you want to get to before the end of the season?
Yeah, I'd like to go 156 in the 800 and sub 50 hopefully in the 400.
And those would be PRs for you if you hit those?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't sure. You guys have those PRs that are stuck in your head, so definitely exciting. And how about, Coach has talked a little bit about how the team as a whole is on the way up. And obviously you're getting ready to graduate, but are you seeing it with the boys team that you got a group that's coming in or that is competing right now that's got a chance to do something that hasn't been done in a few years? Guys have won a district title in a few years.
Right. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more talent here on our sprinters. It's looking like a much better picture. It is difficult. We did lose quite a bit of people for our distance group, but like I said, people are showing up left and right, talent emerges. Yeah. And it's nice to see everyone growing up and, filling in those spots that others left behind.
Okay, very good. Aubrey, what are we going to see out competing in this year? Do you know which events you're focusing on?
Yes, sir. I do pole vault and I sprint. I'm really excited for pole vault this year. I'm going to try and qualify for state in pole vault this year. Honestly, that's my main goal. I want to do all the, compete my best in any relay I can as well for sprint. I've been working pretty hard in sprinting, so yeah,
it's kind of different. It's interesting because a lot of pole vaulters just do pole vaulting, don't necessarily do the other stuff. What does it make you want to do both? Is it just you enjoy both, both the running events and doing pole vaulting as well?
Honestly, I know I have a talent for sprint, and I want to keep at pole vault too, and I think I have found a balance for both. So I've just been able to do both.
Just able to do that, okay. Mm-hmm. So you said you want to qualify for state. Do you have a height that you're trying to hit in pole vault?
State is 9 feet for pole vault. I'm kind of, my goal is to be over that, but just short-term goal, I want to get 9 feet. Okay.
And in the sprinting events, is there one in particular you think that you have a chance to qualify in, or?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. You're going to find out as the events go along this year. Okay, so 100, 200, that's what you're going to be running on, or is it more the relays?
Relays.
Okay, very cool. Coach, we got 3 here. Obviously, I don't know how many kids you have out this year between the two teams, probably over 100 or something like that. You want to mention some of the other athletes that you think will be a big part of the team this year?
Yeah, we'll start with the girls' side. We have some basketball girls still in the mix. I think they're playing tonight, right? Mm-hmm. And so we'll have Tia Gordon out and Madison Gigler. I think she would have been one of the athletes here. She's been sick all week, so we're not going to have her for Friday either. So that's just one of those things there. I think Kylie Rideout will be another strong pole vaulter for us. Abby Vasquez from basketball will be in the mix there. Eniola Komalafe, she's going to be right now 100 and 200 is our top sprinter. Sonia Davis is going to have to step up in a middle distance role. She's our top hurler as of now, and also we're going to try and push her into maybe a 4x8 role with that relay they added a few years ago. So there's definitely some girls there that along with these two are hugely important. And Addie. What is Addie's last name? DeBoof. So she has really stepped up her year long. We only had her out last year, and the year of track and field, of cross country, of swim is been. She's a different athlete now. So those are some girls. Every single year I know I've probably forgot a couple, so I apologize. But those are some girls on the guy side. I try to get Anthony Audette here. He just doesn't like to. He's a very quiet guy. Doesn't want to. But he's going to be a major part of. That sprint group there. We have a lot of football guys who have come out, and even someone like last year, Leland Quick, very quiet young man, but he's going to add some stuff in our relays. He's our best javelin thrower right now, as an example. And we have our boys pole vaulting. We have Will Ochoa, and then Isaiah from football. Soliata is his last name, I believe. I don't know if I'm saying that incorrect or not, but he came from Texas. He already vaulted 11.6 last year in Texas, so I think Coach Tribble will get him, that 12.6, maybe 13 mark. You know what I mean? And so we have some really dominant athletes there, and we have a lot of guys. I think, for example, Taid Lewis. I know he played soccer this year as well. So we have a core of guys coming out from football. We've had over 70. We've already had a couple say, "Oh, this is a little bit, I don't know," and they've already decided not to do it. But we've had 70. Right now we're up in the mix of around 40 girls. So the numbers are good. But the challenge is I'm still looking for this girls team, and we need to keep finding those numbers and challenging some girls to come out still. So, but those are some of the athletes that will have an impact this year.
Yeah, and I know, when I talk to other athletes throughout the year, whether it's you or one of your other coaches or somebody, I mean, you're recruiting a lot, and you see athletes in other sports, and you'll be like, hey, you should try track and field if you haven't before. That's a big part of, it's one of those that if you're athletic in some way, shape, or form, there's probably a spot for you within the track and field team. Is that fair to say? I
think it is. There's 20 events we have to fill, and I would say nationwide, I don't think many other states have 20 events. A lot of states don't have javelin. Many states don't have the number of relays we have. Like Texas only has 4x1, 4x2, and 4x4. They don't have a medley. They don't have a 4x8. They don't throw javelin in Texas either. So, I guess if you're from Texas, you're just a little soft, I guess.
Oh, goodness.
I got to stir it up a little bit.
Because you guys have a couple of events down there this year.
But no, we have to do the job, and it's a tough sport. I often, although I like to be demanding in the right ways, I do, moments appreciate and thank the kids for doing this sport, because it's not really normal, it's not under huge, Friday night lights. And I always say that because, it's these kids work extremely hard. It's a very demanding sport. And so, it's I really appreciate all of them coming out, and we have to find athletes for sure. And I think in the spring, there's always such distractions, seniors towards the end of their years. And sometimes if seniors are spot on, they're awesome. But if they start a little bit, looking down the line too much, then and it's understandable. I mean, it's a big part of their life. And so there's a lot of distractions. They have a lot of, I got to be careful what I say too, but some of the club stuff is kind of, can hurt high school sports. And so, we have to be 100% all in on high school sports. We have a great system of education, of competition. And so I'll leave that there. But sometimes that's frustrating. We have to fight some of that stuff, and so we recruit as much as we absolutely can. And some kids just have no interest in it. And I'm not always the easiest approachable guy at first. And then once you're like, oh, you know what, that guy is actually, he's pretty fun to work with. And I enjoy being coached by him. If they don't agree, then, well, they just don't say it. Just pretend. But yeah, so we recruit all the time, and we do our absolute best. And so I'm continuous recruiting through the season and throughout the whole year. Yeah,
that was something I haven't thought about, but is absolutely true in that. There's some events where the most people that are cheering you on are your fellow teammates, because, track and field, it's a long day. You don't necessarily have people that will sit there for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours and watch track and field. So, I mean, it's a lot of it's on, your willingness and your commitment to go out there and perform, not so much in front of a big crowd. That's, it's something that's different about track and field. Cross country is another one that's a lot like that as well.
Yeah. I mean, you go to the Roller Buck, the Bob Spode. I mean, those stands with all the other teams, plus the other team's parents, families coming to watch, friends coming to watch. I mean, there's definitely a decent crowd out there.
Absolutely.
There's nobody there. But, sometimes you don't have all the hype of, it's a big, everyone in the school wants to go and do a social thing, at a football game. That's an important part of high school, just a high school culture. But no one's going to go to track and, hey, call their buddy, hey, let's go hang out the track. This is probably not going to happen, But you got a lot of friends, family. So there's a decent amount of people that will come out. State meet's awesome. That's why we love it. I mean, there's thousands upon thousands of those bleachers, especially on Saturday. That's fun. That is really fun. And that's what we, in the back of your mind, that's where you go to these demanding workouts and days like yesterday and, weather. And so, yeah. But there's special kids who are willing to come out and do the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I didn't want to infer there that there aren't people that come out and support track and field. There's a ton of people that do.
I agree, and they hear that all the time. I said the same thing. I know this is not the highlight sport, but that's why I do appreciate them coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know that the parents and everybody involved, they're out there supporting you guys on a regular basis. So certainly that would be the case. Ayanna, so track and field something you want to try to continue once you're done with high school, or?
Yeah, if the place I goes to offers it, I want to continue it and just kind of do it as something on the side rather than like fully, but yeah.
Okay, very good. So does that, you mean you already have your college plans figured out?
Yeah, for the most part. It's just the applying part.
Yeah.
But I only have one goal right now, and just I want to get into that college. I don't really know what I'm going to do if I don't get into it. So.
Okay, what college are you trying to get into?
I want to get into the Air Force Academy.
Awesome, congratulations. Very
I will
cool.
say we've had, in my time here in 21 years, we've had 8 go to the academy from our track program.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's she's in the perfect spot to do that, I think.
And folks need to know, I mean, it's a difficult process to get into the Air Force Academy. You got to have the grades. You got to have a lot of different things. What kind of process have you had to go through to make sure that you have to get ready for that?
So far, I've just been like looking at the process, and I know I have to get a bunch of recommendations and references and stuff like that. So I already have a few people I want to get my recommendations from, and I'm just working on getting my volunteer hours and, and like all the paperwork and my transcripts and whatnot. So.
Okay. Yeah, and do you know what kind of career you want to focus on in the Air Force?
I want to go into healthcare as an orthodontist. So right now I'm just looking to get like a bachelor's in science, maybe in chemistry or biology. So yeah.
And then do postgraduate work after that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, we certainly wish you the best luck. Well, I'm sure we'll be asking about that again next year, see what's happening with that.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. Omar, you got a couple months to graduation.
Yep.
I feel like we've talked about this plenty, but I was trying to remember, are you going to continue any athletics once you're done here at the high school?
Originally I was gonna,
Yeah.
but so far I think that this will be the end, last hurrah for me.
Okay.
But yeah, originally I was planning on going to flight college in Arizona and get my bachelor's of aeronautical science.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's looking to be a little bit more pricey than anticipated. So instead, I'm going to sign on with one of the airlines cadet programs, and that'll expedite the process and also make it cheaper. Of course, that does mean that I won't be able to run, so that's why I'm not really planning on doing any running after high school. But yeah, I want to become an airline pilot, and hopefully I'll be able to do that by the time I'm 21.
Awesome. So it's kind of like you provide some service for the airlines, and they help pay for your college?
Right, yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, we'll certainly look forward to Captain Enriquez at some point.
That's right.
Yeah. get those flight wings. That would be exciting to see. Aubrey, you started, is athletics something you're hoping to continue after high school?
I hope so. I want to continue track in college. That's the goal.
College, have you started thinking about, where you'd like to go, or maybe what you'd like to do in college yet? Or?
I'm not sure exactly where I want to go. I know I want to go to college. I want to get like a degree in like primary education or early childhood education, probably become an elementary school teacher. Okay. That's like my dream, but yeah, I'm not sure exactly where to go yet.
Okay, very good. Let's talk about the team a little bit. It's such a big team. There's so many people that are involved in it. What is the chemistry feeling like? Because I feel like the boys and the girls, they're kind of all together, and it's one big group. Do you feel like this is a fun group going into this year? I definitely believe so. I mostly kind of hang out with pole vault girls like Kylie Rideout, Mauda Diaz. That's kind of, they were just my friends from last year. So, but definitely a lot of the girls. I love all the girls on the track team. So yeah, all right. So is Kylie doing track and field and golf this year, or is she just doing track and field?
Both.
Both?
Yes.
Okay, so she's doing both. Mm-hmm. Okay. I thought I remembered her from golf, but I was trying to remember if she had just transitioned to one or the other. That's cool. I think that's what a very unique thing to be a pole vaulter and a golfer at the same time. I think that's really interesting. Omar, this is your last opportunity to be with this group of the guys, and what's been your feeling among the group? And I know there's a decent amount of seniors in this crew this year as well, right?
Right, yeah. A lot of the people that we had, like the legacy individuals, they did graduate last year, but if anything, that just means you become closer with a lot of newer individuals, and it has been nice doing that, especially the friends that I made during cross country who are new to the sport. They're also doing distance track, so we've all become a lot closer because of that.
Do you, as a senior, do you feel like some of those younger ones, do you enjoy the, mentoring and helping them along? Is that something that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, it is kind of nice. They're like, not my, kind of like, your kids,
little brothers, maybe.
Yeah. You teach them the ropes, and it's fun seeing them improve and, just doing their thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Move on to Ayanna here. And what's your enjoyment? Do you enjoy this group? What's special about this group as we go into this season? Do you enjoy hanging out with them?
Yeah, I really do like this group. I feel like a lot of them have a good attitude coming into practice. And I know some of them do talk about like the struggles, of course, because, it's not easy, but they still have like that will, and they appreciate like the people around them. And I know how a lot of them motivate each other, and I think that's just what keeps us going.
Well, and I mean, Coach talks about it, but I mean, being a part of this track and field team, it is demanding of your time and demanding, of the different things he was talking about, practicing in the wind yesterday, it sounds like, which you probably are going to have one track and field meet that's going to be dusty and windy and bad. So I'm sure that's part of the reason. But I got to think that brings you all together in terms of the challenges that come with that. Is that fair?
Yeah, like we do have, I remember there was like those freezing practices. And I remember all of us were just waiting to go home. But we all got to work through it together. So yeah.
All right. Adds a little bit of camaraderie among the group when you have to do that. Absolutely. Well, Coach, we've obviously chatted a little bit about, what you're hoping to get this year, but, I know expectation every season, regardless of, who's graduated and who's still here, is you guys want to be competing for a district championship at minimum, right?
Yes, that's the standard. And, if we're realistic about it, I don't know exactly what the district teams have coming back either, but yeah, it's going to be a bigger challenge on the girls' side than it has been. If we're realistic about it, we're going to find ways, and we're trying to maximize. That's why I've challenged Aubrey to vault and be that competitive relay athlete for us. We need those sorts of things to find athletes to maximize them the most. So yes, it's going to be a challenge. There's nothing guaranteed. I don't know. Cruces has the one girl, I think she plays volleyball. I think it's their best. I don't forget what her name was, long jumper. Anyway, she's a great athlete. Okay. And so, but that's one. They had some graduate, and they had some really strong relays. But yeah, we have to find some ways. I think there are, I've been told, there's the 8th grade group of girls in 7th grade right now. There is some talent there. So we probably will bring up a few 8th graders towards the middle to end of the year, and that may be that cycle. We haven't used 8th graders in a long time in a very important way, so this may be another time to supplement our team. But finding a district championship is huge. Our throws on the girls' side is going to be the most dominant part of our team. Once we get sickness, basketball completes in a couple weeks, we'll be really that roller buck will be, I think, the first time we're really at full strength. And for the guys, right there in the last 80 meters in the 4x4 last year, that was a gut punch. That was, thought we had it. I thought there was, our anchor lay overall did a great job. He made a great move, and then just wasn't quite able to sustain it. But I thought we had it coming on there in that last curve. But so, yeah, of course, it's the guys, it's been, a couple years. And so I think they need that taste. We get that taste, and they understand what it feels like. It's going to be a special moment, I think, for them. And, we haven't been able to celebrate both teams doing it in those 3 years, but there's nothing better than having both of those banners. Like, it's a really awesome thing that night or that day, whenever it's, I think, district's on a Saturday this year. But it's pretty awesome to have both banners. It really has. And we've experienced that a lot over the years. So that's and the state level, I'm really not sure. That's our focus is the district this year. And then as we progress, then we will maybe adjust some things and what relays maybe we can try and win on each side. Girls 4x4 is going to be super strong. Guys, medley can be super strong, 4x4. Those are some relays I think we can look at as an example at the state level.
And, of course, do you want to mention there'll be 2 home events again this year with the Rollabuck, which is, I think, the 23rd of March.
23rd of March, and then the Bob Spova, April 26th, of Friday. Saturday and Friday. And last year, that rollerbuck was the worst rollerbuck weather I've been a part of. Rain, snow, sleet during the day. That was something else. That was tough. We got through it, and we're still around a good meet. The javelin area was just caked with mud, and so it was a tough day, but we got through it, and so that's fingers crossed, and hope that that doesn't happen again for us. So,
and of course, you guys have such a big event. Usually there's 20 plus teams that come out for the Rollabuck.
Yeah, it's big. Every year's a little bit different with the exact numbers, but generally high teens for each is what we have, and between around 600, between 600 and 680 athletes to manage in different heats and different events. So it's a big deal. We have the oxygen with all the food, tables for the workers, and we try to make a good event. You don't have that too much. Everyone's kind of gone away from that. At Clovis used to do a great luncheon, dinner deal, and it's just kind of gone away by the wayside a little bit. So I try to keep that going strong as much as we can.
right, very good. All right, well, best of luck to you all this season. We certainly hope it's a great year, and we'll obviously be following you all the way until May. Good luck this season, everybody.
Thanks
Thank
so much.
you.
Yep.